would you look at this? Look what the cat drug in, everyone. Oh, no! Wait, whoever's on lights, can you get the lights again?
That's just precious.
Gosh, see what happens here? We're trying to do a little Facebook Live, and the lights just go.
I like it, though.
Do we like it?
It's mood lighting. Because this is a very dark subject.
This is a very dark subject when we talk Disney.
You know what? When you're tired and you're trying to get your kids to bed and they're not going to bed, it gets very dark. Trust me. You go to dark places in your mind.
Well, this is exactly what we're talking about. Shout out to Elena, who works in our digital department, who popped up and said, let me grab the lights for you. So, hey, we're back. Okay, so let's break this down, Rob Carlmark. When I came in this morning, we're in our morning meeting. You've done an entire 2-hour show in the morning blend. I'm just getting in.
Right.
And we're hearing about this new Disney hotline. Obviously, it's a hotline. It's a phone number that parents or kids, if they're old enough to know how to dial, which now is like at 1 year old, right? 1 year old, they can call, and it helps them with Disney voices go to bed, right? And it's Mickey. I just called the number right now on the phone, and it's Mickey going, oh, hi. Today, me and Minnie did this. We just brushed our teeth. We put our pajamas on. We're going to bed now. Trying to encourage your kids to go to bed.
Right.
So there's this conversation that sparked people going, wait a minute. If parents have to resort to using Disney and a Disney hotline, they've failed as parents. Other parents are going, hello, when you're trying to guzzle some wine down and watch, I don't know, the latest episode of Grey's Anatomy. Like, you need this sometimes.
Right.
It's not a big deal. So I want to talk about parent shaming with you, because I know you're pretty passionate about it.
Yeah.
Would you use this number?
Okay.
Have you?
So, and the reason why we're talking about this is people were very passionate about that, either, hey, this is a great idea, or you shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
Why are you giving Disney the opportunity to put your kids to bed?
Like, shouldn't you be doing that? Initial thoughts?
Okay, so my golden rule of being a parent, okay, because I'm still relatively new at this, I don't have all the answers, is to number one, you need to let parents do their own thing. Okay. So this may not be the way that you do it, but it's some parents, they will let their kids, run around bare feet in places that you might think are gross. But guess what? It's their kids. You need to allow them and give them the space to do it, because that's your one opportunity when you're calling the shots on how you want to raise your kid. Now, obviously, there are certain lines when you're breaking laws and things like that, or when the kid's safety is being threatened or the parent is being totally inattentive when they should be. Sometimes you actually have to step in and do something. Right. Or at least let them know what's going on if the kid's climbing something or whatever. But, this is what I think about this particular thing. When you put your kids to bed, okay, it is a beautiful moment because they're rounding out the day. Now, as you have to always to try and understand kids, you have to look at it through their eyes. They are little. The world is this big, bright, shiny place. They now have undivided attention from their parents that they've been wanting all day long, and they may have had it all day long. They always want more. And as an adult, you're trying to wrap up the day, get them off to bed. So maybe it's for selfish reasons, or maybe you're just trying to give them,
when
kids
it's 5 o'clock, it's maybe for selfish reasons,
kids need to sleep, exactly. So it's good for them. So it's good for everybody. But it turns into this process. It turns into this bargaining, threatening. It just goes on and on and on, because the reality is that, and you have to see it from the kid's point of view, they don't want to go to bed because right now they're happy. Everything is working out the way that they want it to. They're reading books. You're telling them stories. They're getting attention. It's cozy. They're in a blanket. It's a happy place. But the problem is that sometimes it's just not working out, and sometimes either you pass it off to the other parent, or when grandma and grandpa are in town, hey, you get to put them to bed. So, so this approach to having them call Disney, it isn't entirely, I don't think, a bad thing.
And clearly it was needed if Disney created this. Maybe there was a call out from parents being like, gosh, it's getting so difficult, especially now in the age of social media where kids, we were just talking about it, little Lakin, how old is Lakin?
She's 4.5.
So 4.5. She knows what a phone is. She knows what the internet is. She knows what YouTube videos are when she goes around the house saying, hi, I'm Lakin. Like, it's part of who they are now, which we all know it's tough to shut down social media. We're on social media speaking to all of you, which let's pause for a second and give some shout outs here. I see a lot of you tuned in, so thank you so much for joining us. We have Curtis, hello, Jorge Rivera, nice to see you. I'm right in front of the screen.
I think some people like your ring.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Well, thank you. Use if you want, says Rose. Don't if you don't. What's so hard to understand,
Rose,
Rose Fonte?
We're friends. When it comes to kids, I mean, you just can't. I don't see the point in getting that invested in how other parents do it, because here's the thing, and this is the amazing thing.
Yeah.
One day you may say, I cannot believe that they're doing that.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, you may be like, you know what? Let me try that, because it may work, because you may be in a spot. Now, with that said, there's a danger here.
What's that danger?
Here's the downside of this. If you make this part of your routine, because it's all about routines with kids, it helps
and
parents.
Dogs. My little Yorkie, I've learned.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she now wants to go pee these 4 times of the day,
exactly.
so I have to stay committed to that.
Exactly, and if you deviate from the pattern, pets or kids, it can get a little messy.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe she's peeing on the carpet that we just purchased, right?
But the only issue I see with this is that now you're inviting Disney into your house every night as part of your very intimate family time.
But it's only available through August 31st.
Right, exactly.
So is this a problem?
Well, you worry about exposing your kids to too much. Just basically, it's an ad. It's a way of
it's a crutch.
It's a way of Disney and their products and their characters climbing into your kids' heads for the last thing that they think about before they go to sleep, and then
subliminal messages.
Exactly, and so I mean, it makes sense why they would do that.
Smart.
So I see that as the downside. The other thing too is that kids know what these are. Mommy and Daddy are on these all the time.
Oh, Lakin gets it.
Yeah, and they're fun, and Mommy and Daddy like them. They're around all the time. Kids watch videos on them. Sometimes they talk to Grandma and Grandpa on the phone. So they see when this comes out at bedtime, they're not relaxing.
Yeah.
They're getting amped up.
But it's usually this, what parents are doing, right? It's usually this. So the upside to this whole Disney being able to call some of the characters to go to bed is that kids are getting used to being able to talk on the phone, which I feel like is something that has been lost over the years.
Right.
And definitely over the generation. Like, I want to talk to someone. Like, my phone rings, you go like...
I know.
Like, is that what I want to do right now? Is like talk on the phone? Like, it's a commitment that you make.
I know. It's
where
like,
it used to be like on the landline, like, hey, like, when, whatever, you're like starting to date, and that phone call that comes through is like, you want to talk on the phone.
I know. That is something that's being lost. If you have an old friend from college and they actually call you
you're like,
unannounced, you're like, are you in a ditch? Where are you?
Are you dying?
Do I need to call 911 and search and rescue? Where are you stranded? Like, what is going on? Why are you calling me?
That's actually very accurate. Those are the exact thoughts that have gone through my head. I want to get to some more of the comments really quick. David Mariscal says, not sure if I want to have my kids called Donald Duck. Sorry, but a guy who refuses to wear pants. Come on. He's a character.
That's funny. It's a joke.
To not wear pants is nobody my kids are allowed to talk to. That's funny.
Okay.
I agree with you, Rob, says Karen. Well, let's keep going through these for a second. Matt, hello to you. Only have a puppy doggy story time, LOL. Yes, you can do that.
So, I want to take, so let's expand this a little bit instead of the specific, Disney, Mickey Mouse, and all this. One of the major things that I go through, and my wife goes through, and you may go through someday, is you're just doing the best that you can with these kids. And there's no instruction book, and the way that you did it is going to be different than the way that your parents did it. Even though they may have strong opinions about how it goes down, it's different. It might be 30, 40 years of time has passed. So everything's different, and this generation's going through different issues than in prior generations. So it doesn't always link up, even though it's well-intentioned.
What I used to do is I didn't know what a cell phone was. Yeah,
exactly. And, parents will tell you, oh yeah, when they had a toothache, I just put a little whiskey on the
and
binky,
now it's like,
and
is that
fine.
socially acceptable?
Like, I don't think we really need to bring hard alcohol into this.
Yeah, maybe not.
But anyway, as a parent, I would just say my role is to do the best I can with my kids, and if I know something that's helpful and I want to pass it on to a parent, there's a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it, and you just have to wait for your opportunity until it is advice that is wanted. If someone's reaching out to you.
As a parent, do you ever want it? Like, will you overtly ask, like, what do you think I should do?
Usually, honestly, I usually don't, unless I'm really at a crossroads where I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end.
Okay.
And you know what? That has happened definitely with really little ones, because you're in the spot, you just don't know what to do. They won't go to sleep, or maybe they're sick, or they're showing symptoms of something, and maybe you want to figure out what's going on. You don't know everything, and it's okay to ask for help. But what we saw a lot with the post last night is that the whole thing about parent shaming is a real thing, because there are lots of people that think that they have all the answers on how everybody should be raising their kids, and I could say that it may seem that way to you.
Yeah.
But you may be wrong on some of these things,
and it's
or it may
okay
not
to
work
use
for other
this.
people. It may not be their best way because maybe their kids are different, and that's the other factor in all this is that we parents, at least in the beginning, you think that you're going to control everything. My kids are going to be like this. They're going to like this. And that's just how it's going to be.
This is how I'm going to do it. And
exactly.
you had to, in the very beginning when we were, first starting our friendship, it was the same sort of thing. I think I remember telling you I was in an airplane and there were two rambunctious kids with a mom and the kids just wouldn't listen. And a part of me felt really bad for her. But in that time, another part of me was like, do I need to step in and help? So I offered the woman like my phone to watch it, but then she felt a bit offended. I felt, and I was like, uh-oh, did I just cross a boundary? And I kind of got like, I don't know why she felt like I was offending her. I was just trying to help. And you're like, well, put yourself in her shoes. And then things in perspective sort of changed from there. So I've always appreciated your advice on this. Can I get to Michelle Holigan for a second? She said, I'm a special needs mom, because you were talking about parents getting into situations that you don't know what you're going to get into. And I love this. It is so magical to kids. And my kids love Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And this is a memory that Disney is helping me make. So for that, I say thank you so much, Disney, for helping me make my kids' memories magical. And that's a really beautiful thing to say, Michelle, for her. You know, that extra little thing at night is just another memory notch on your list of things that you're making memories with throughout the course of your life. So cool.
It doesn't have to be a net negative. Like, we can't, I want to always avoid being like, this is right and this is wrong, because look, it depends. For Michelle, it works. For Michelle,
Linda French says, if they don't listen, you need more than Mickey, you need a parenting class. I'd say that's offensive to those. Well, did that hurt y'all?
Right.
Here, let's flip it this way. Okay. We're using
literally, this is on a fake potted plant.
Should we show them?
Yeah.
This is literally...
That's our tripod.
This is the tripod. So, just remember that.
Does
this work? Are you reading some of
the we got some comments. There's... If they don't listen to you, you need more than Mickey, you need a parenting class.
Right.
I don't know of any parenting classes. Do you?
No, I didn't think there was.
Right. And
a manual. I guess, I don't know. Are there parenting classes? Have you taken one?
You know what? Sometimes the kids don't listen because the parent isn't assertive about rules and they're consistent in enforcing them. Sometimes there's that going on.
Yeah.
But what I always point to, I think that this was great advice. A lot of the things that you run into, you have to take one step back. And you have to understand, is what they're doing right now, is it age appropriate? If a 2-year-old, a toddler, the terrible twos, notoriously difficult age, if they're throwing a temper tantrum in the middle of Target, right, and it's been a while since you've had a 2-year-old, or you have never had kids, you may forget what that daily experience is like, because a 2-year-old is so irrational. They will ask for something. I want a piece of candy. And then when you give them a piece of candy, then they freak out. So now if you give them what they want, they're still freaking out. They just melt down. They're emotional. They're trying to figure everything out. They're very irrational. So sometimes the discipline or the way that you would discipline a 4-year-old is not the way that you would discipline a 2-year-old. So the first thing is what is going on right now age appropriate. The 4-year-old's throwing a tantrum and mouthing off to mom and dad in the middle of Target. You need to step in and do something about it, because that's not the way that they should be treating you, and you need to teach them that that's not the way that they treat
their own
others.
Parents
exactly.
Need to step in,
But then if you have the 4-year-old approach to the 2-year-old, it's just not going to be very effective.
Right.
So for step 1 is this age appropriate. Step 2, then you parent accordingly. I think that that's really good advice. Unsolicited advice.
Right, unsolicited.
A classic.
He always says that. I want to call the number really quick before we end this Facebook Live, so you guys, if you have some curiosities as to, hey, maybe this would be a good thing for my kid, don't feel bad about it. We're here to say that, hey, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then don't use it. But this is what it sounds like when you call 1-877-764-2539.
Welcome to
the numbers in the
Sleep Shop Hotline.
caption.
To help you add a bit of magic to your little one's nighttime routine, follow the prompts to hear a special bedtime message from some of your favorite Disney characters. Please make sure a grown-up is with you, or that you have a grown-up's permission before continuing.
Well, that ends our call.
To hear from Mickey.
No grown-ups here.
Press 2
Do we want
to
Mickey
hear
or Minnie?
from Minnie.
Oh.
Press 3 to hear from Donald.
Let's do 3.
Press
Thanks, Rose and David.
Very relaxing. I'm falling asleep as he speaks.
What is she saying?
Okay.
Shish kebab.
Okay.
Yes, it's a free call. Hello. Okay, wait.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I called before this, and Mickey sounded a lot different.
Yeah.
Your selection was not valid. Please try again.
Okay, we're gonna
there's
end
a
that.
couple things going on.
Can we call this
He
again?
warned us about Donald. Yes. The no pants should have given it away.
No, but that was the no pants should have. But that was Minnie. But it sounded like did I?
I think that was Donald Duck. That was definitely Donald Duck. So
Okay,
a couple
that's why I
things.
was
Number
so
one,
pumped, 'cause that's
it's
not
been a
me.
while since I've heard from Donald, and it will be a while until I hear from him again. They probably should reimagine that character
That was
because it
terrible.
was
What does that
probably
tell
great
kids?
in the 40s, hilarious. But it sounds a little different now.
It's me, Mickey Mouse. Oh,
That's
I
pleasant.
sure am glad you called. Gosh, it must be getting close to your bedtime.
Okay.
I bet by now you've brushed your teeth and gotten into your pajamas. Oh, that's great. Pluto and I just finished brushing our teeth,
Yeah,
too.
Nicole
Tonight,
Williams.
I
That
think
was
I'll read
shocking.
Pluto his favorite story. It's about a
So-
brave dog who helps a lost bunny rabbit.
This is the
find his
kid
way
listening
home.
while you're trying to pour your wine.
Right.
Hey, not a bad option for some.
So here's something that's kind of interesting too.
Yeah.
And you'll notice this, almost all kids' books, just so you know. I mean, we could read books to kids at any point in the day, but it's
Yeah.
usually at night, and they almost always end with somebody going to bed. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't
You
read
can start.
a child's
You can
book
open
in
up
a very
a
long
kid's
time.
book that you've never read before, and you know where it's going. They're on a big pirate ship, and they're
Yeah.
looking for treasure, and this whole thing goes on. And then at the end, they're like, "Okay, congratulations! Now everyone went to sleep on
Everyone's
the pirate
making
ship."
night. You should too.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
So whatever works for you. The thing that we do, my kids will only go to sleep when it's nice and cool, when there's no light in there. I mean, I take away anything that stimulates them. I take it all away.
And they know that because you've gone
Right.
into that routine.
Boredom is my friend. I want it to be so boring that they were like, you know what? I'd rather sleep
I'd rather shut
than
my
be
eyes.
here right now.
Yeah.
That's the way that it works in my family. But the other thing that's been kind of fun is we all have a creative imagination muscle in our brain. And so when all the lights are off, what I do is I just tell a verbal story that I just make up out of
You
thin
make
air.
it up?
Yeah.
Oh my god, a Rob Karl Marx
And
story?
that's-
I'm sorry, guys. My fake plant phone stand right now is giving me issues.
Yeah, and that's
you
fun.
make up a story.
Yeah, I'd
They-
say,
they still dig
you know,
that?
once upon a time, there was a little girl, and she had friends, and they were on a spaceship, and it just kind of goes from there.
That's good improv for you.
Sometimes I weave in like a moral lesson. Sometimes I
You're
weave in
good.
like real life things that might have happened that day, and maybe
Really?
like that was not the way to do it. So I'll sneak stuff in there, but they enjoy it, they like it, and then eventually the story goes long enough and boring enough
That you
they just
put
fall
them
asleep.
to sleep. Wow.
So I like that one.
Wow. Well,
That's
thank you for
fun.
sharing, Rob Karl Marx. It's so nice to see Robbie. So nice to see a lot of you. Did Mickey and Pluto use the same toothbrush?
Only
don't,
on vacation because somebody forgot one.
Yeah, that's gross. But have you ever done that with Courtney?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Done those either. Use your finger? Mouthwash? I'm not shaming. I'm not
Yeah.
spouse shaming. Okay,
I love
I'm
this
just
angle.
saying.
My hair is especially
We all look
problematic.
really good right now. That was shocking. Okay, so any more comments here? What do you guys do if you're not using this hotline? What are you doing to put the kids to bed? Rob says he makes up stories as he goes, which I really love. You should record those. That's fun.
I should. They're
Yeah.
fun. Sometimes at
You
the
shock
end.
yourself?
Yeah. Sometimes it puts my wife to sleep.
Yeah.
But sometimes she'll be like, you know what? That was a good one. But then you don't remember it the next day.
Yeah, but that's kind of the fun of it. So maybe don't record it. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching us here live. I see some of you are still tuned in. We have recordings happening around us, so our voices dropped a bit.
Right.
But the light is still up, and the day is just starting. So everyone have a good day. It is 10:40 right now. Let's talk a little bit more about this. Tell me, what do you do to put the kiddos to bed? Or maybe your pet to bed, because some people seem to be into that too.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever works, just sleep is a good thing.
And don't parent shame.
Yeah.
Lesson of the day.
Yeah.
Don't parent shame. All right, y'all. Have a good day. It's Tuesday, right?
I think. I know it's
no,
Wednesday.
is it Wednesday?
We don't know. It's midweek. It's
Is
Wednesday.
it Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
How is this happening? Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Okay, bye. It's Wednesday. That's after you pay back that